some type of pad here for your knee if you need it, if you're going to do the shrimp squats, and you can put it on your back when you're doing some of the bridges or exercise on your back if you need. If you don't, we're just going to get started, okay? All right, so let's get our leg swings to the front, heels high, big stretch through the hamstrings. Again, we want to point the toe toward the ceiling as we do that, and try to get as much of a stretch all the way from the glute to the calf as you can. So just 10 leg swings to the front. Okay, good. Then we're going to go 10 to the sides. So you should open the hips up, just like we did with or just like we always do. We just want to be able to move the hips around our torso rather than moving our torso. Right, the alternative is to move your torso, which a lot of times we want to be creating stability. 3, so we're just doing 10 swings here. Okay, good. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. You get 10 swings to the front. And again, focus on that stretch all the way through the hamstrings, toe pointing toward the chest, and hips moving around the torso. Swaying the leg outside. Good, same thing. 10 here. Then we're going to go into our Spider-Man lunges, because we again want to keep practicing moving around that plank position. And 1. Okay, great. Now drop into a plank. Again, we get our plank. Shoulder blades are packed down. Rib cage is glued to the abs, and the hips are slightly tucked. You don't need anything rounded over. You just need it slightly tucked. And boom, strong plank. Torso is strong. 1 foot over the knee, or knee over the ankle, and back. Knee over the ankle, and back. Letting the hip be what moves. 5 steps per foot. Just 5 per foot. Keep everything braced. Good. 2 more. Shoulder blades toward the hips. All right, so remember, when we're strength training, we want to make sure that we're working the muscle properly. So it's not just that you're moving, it's how you're moving. So we want to keep very close attention to these minor cues. Now we'll go into our squat, and this is going to be for our arm circles, then we'll get started. So we sit down and drive up nice and forcefully. Those knees come out as you squat. So we're going to go for 10 here. Remember, I'm letting the hips and the knees move to the same degree. I don't want to sit back like that. I don't want to collapse all onto the quad. I want to use the hips and the quads together. And so do you. That's implied. 10 reps here. And then we'll get big arm circles forward. So pull the shoulder blades down and together as you reach back. Good. 10 to the front and 10 in the reverse. Doesn't matter which direction you go first or which direction you consider the front, because we're doing both. We're going front and back for both of them in reality. We're in the same direction. We're just reversing the motion. But focus on those shoulder blades. Moving down and together. So, again, we're going to try to work up in reps, or work down in reps, work up in resistance. But we're going to be doing 1.5 reps. So we have our squat. We can do our split squat. We can do our shrimp squat. What we're going to do with them, we're going to start by doing 10 reps, 1.5 reps. It doesn't matter which one you do. If you do squats, you'll probably want to go for 15 if you're doing anything with 2 legs, 15 to 20 reps, because everybody else will be doing 1 leg, even though you're not all together. But let's just try to keep on the same pace. So when we do our squat, 1.5, down, halfway up, back down, all the way up. So let's do that with just bodyweight squats to start, and then we'll move on. So we're going to go 10 reps here, down, boom, that's 1, down, halfway up, that's 2, down, halfway up, 3, this only works again if you are actually going down, right? You can't go halfway up if you only go halfway down. Well, you can, but that would be all the way up. So you have to go all the way down. If halfway up is going to be half the lift. Good. It's just 10 here. What we're trying to do is have control of the lift in that first part. 2 more. Halfway up, back down, and drive. Halfway up, back down, and drive. So we'll do the same thing with our push-up. So we want to come until that arm's parallel to the floor for halfway up. So I'm going to go here, arms lower than parallel, back down, and up. 1. All the way down, up, back down. 2. We're going to do 3 like that, or 10 like this. So here's 3. 4. Good. 5. 6. Great. And really drive on that. 8. Excellent. 1 more. Good. So now we'll do our leg raise. Same thing. We'll go halfway up, all the way down, and all the way up. Then we're going to go back to that squat. So the key here, again, is forceful on that all the way, on that full lift. So we do our leg raise. So we go up, down, halfway up, down, all the way up. Trying to keep the shoulder blades down. As you can see, this is a good way to get a lot of tension very quickly. See, we're looking for 10 here. Try not to let your quads take over because they're already going to be tired from the squats. Halfway up, down, all the way up. Now we'll go into our squat. So again, you can do this however you want. If you want to do this with a split squat, we're going to go for 8 reps. We're doing 3 sets here, so we're going to do 2 more. So we're going for 8 reps and then 6 reps out. But we're keeping an extra rep on each one in what is the hardest part of the lift. So if you want to do this with your squat, you can still do that. And you can keep it at that 8 reps here. But if you want to do it with the split squat, that's what I'm going to do. So again, with that split squat, it is, I'll turn this way so you can see the working leg. I don't have that leg all the way back here. I'm not trying to keep it as a lunge, even though it's a good exercise. This is just going to be a post. I'm going to act like I'm squatting on one leg. So again, I'm going to go down, halfway up, back down. All that weight is through that front foot. Good. We're looking for 8 here. 3, 4, great. 5, 6, excellent. 7, boom. 1 more. Then we go into the other leg. And 8. Good. Now we're going to the other leg. Same thing. Looking for 8 reps. Keep that tension through the hamstring and the glute as well. The quad is going to get work. Hopefully, no matter what. You don't have to be doing something terribly wrong to not get the quads to activate on a knee extensor exercise. All right, same thing. We're going to sit down, boom, and 1. Good. Force your way up out of the bottom. And that back foot isn't too far back. We don't want this to be a lunge. We want this to be truly a split squat. 8 here. Great. 3 more. 2 more. 1. Boom. All the way through the floor. So now we're going to go push up. So again, we can do this with both arms. Of course, we can do this from our knees. We all know how we can do these push-ups. I'm going to take one arm and just extend it out. Now, I think the most common mistake is to think you're doing an extended arm push-up, but to then just do a push-up, because most people will just have one arm out, but then they go between both of those hands. You want to be over the intended working hand. Otherwise, if this elbow is bending, it's providing assistance through the chest, and the triceps, right? That makes sense. So 8 reps, 1.5 reps, halfway up out of the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, great. 7, 8. Let's do the same thing on the other arm. Again, one arm is out. If you can't get to 8 reps, that's fine. Just get to however many reps that you can. Okay? 8, 7, good. 4, 3, okay, now we'll go onto our backs and do our sit-up again. Then we'll go finish out the squats with something even harder for 6 reps. So we'll try the short squat. That's going to be pretty difficult for a 1.5 squat, but I'll do my best. You do your best, and we'll just see where we're ending up. Again, rib cage stays tucked. 8 reps on this leg raise. Up. Halfway up. Good. 8 here. Keep the tension on the abs. All right. Gets hard to talk with those. Okay, now we'll go into our short squat. We're gonna look for 6, 1.5 reps. Do your best here. It is tough, but I recommend, if you can, I like to have something that I can put my hand on the same side that I'm working. So if I'm gonna start out, let me show you how this will look first before we do anything. So again, we're gonna touch the knee to the pad, come up without touching the foot to the pad, or foot to the floor. So we're gonna keep that foot off the floor the entire time. So look at this 1.5 rep. We're just gonna come down, halfway up, back down, all the way up. Okay? So let's go for 6. Or the best that you can get. And if you need to, I like for this, it's really hard if I don't touch anything. I can do it, but it's way harder that way. So it's okay if you don't want to balance. You do it like that. Got one more here. Halfway up, back down, and all the way up. Okay, good. There we go. So we'll do the same thing on the other leg. Again, if you don't need anything for balance, that's great. If you do, that's fine as well. If you need to do a split squat, yada, 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 you know, scale this to whatever strength level you have, because that's how it's going to work. If you don't get 6, again, that's fine. So we're just sitting down, halfway up, back down, and all the way up. Not touching that back foot to the floor. Foot up, back down, and all the way up. Good. halfway up, back down, and all the way up. 3 more. Good. 2 more. One more. Do this as hard as you can. Halfway up. All the way up. Okay, good. Now, we'll do 6 with our push-up, and we'll do 6 with our sit-up. Then we're going to move on. So again, do this push-up however you need to. If you need to do a 2-arm push-up, need to do a kneeling push-up, do that. If you want to try a kneeling push-up with one hand, do that. All fine. I'm going to just stick to one arm posted out for the 1.5 reps. Last set. So this time we went to lower reps. We didn't do the 1.5, so you probably worked to a higher resistance. We got more volume in here. Okay. With still pretty good resistance. Halfway up and drive. Halfway up, drive. Halfway up, drive. Okay, 6 on the other arm. This one is exhausting. I've been doing these a lot when I train as my accessories because they work really well. So I use them after my isometrics a lot. Good. So do the same thing on our back with that leg raise. Then we'll go into some upper back work and sit up. So we'll just move to the posterior chain. Doesn't matter how you move around the body, but this is how we're doing it today. So again, finish out the anterior chain, all the way up and down. 6 reps here. Halfway up. Halfway up. Halfway up. Halfway up. Halfway up. Halfway up. Okay, good. So, kind of like what we did with the pauses in the video that I did this week for our strength training YouTube video, we're keeping the tension in the harder part of the lift. So each rep, right, we're spending twice the amount of time in the harder portion rather than getting that rest, that setting of rest at the top. So that last portion of the lift is your easier part. So we're just concentrating that tension there. Now, let's go into our single leg deadlift, and we're just going to do the same thing. So we're going to look for 10 here. We're just going to get through 2 sets like this, but we're going to come halfway up. So let me show you this. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have the hip come part of the way through, back down, and all the way through. Okay? So 10 reps like that. Part of the way through, back down, all the way through. If you need to hold on for something for balance, then that's totally fine. I like to have something at least ready when I'm doing something like this. Even if I want to try to not use it, if I need to, even if it's just at the top of the rep before I go into my next one, to just stabilize, or like there, just kind of used it so that I got a little extra when I was doing the halfway up. So that tension should really be getting very, very, very concentrated on that hamstring. We'll go on the other leg after we finish this. 10. Boom. Okay, good. So, same thing. Remember, we're not letting that chest drop forward and moving at the spine. We're moving at the hip. Our hip joint is right through here. So if everything's stacked on top relative to that hip joint, then the torso will move in line with that back leg. Okay? And here, under control. Keep in mind, if you have that back foot down behind you, that's okay, right? That's fine. Just whatever you need to do. Whew, good. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing, but it's going to be a little harder with our upper back. It's going to be a little different. So I want to make sure that you see what we're doing, because it is going to be something that's kind of away from what we did with any of the other ones. So now, make sure you can see my upper body. That's the important thing. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my arms up and back. So up, back, and then our rep would be forward and down. But what we're going to do is up, back, forward, and down for 10 reps. So we're keeping it in that, again, hardest part of the lift is when we're going back. So we're just going to do that twice. So it's different, but it's the same principle because the muscle works on a different strength curve. So you can't just do the halfway up, halfway down. We also don't have much up and down here, especially front to back. So let's do 10 reps here. Up, back, forward, down and 1. Up, back, forward, down, 2. Up, back, forward, and 3. Up, back, forward, 4. Up, back, forward, and 5. Up, back, forward, and 6. Up, back, forward, and 7. Up, back, forward, and 8. Up, back, forward, and 9. Last one. Up, back, forward, and 10. Okay, now we're going to go into our bridge. So finishing off the posterior chain. So what we're going to do here is a little bit subtle. It's going to be the same thing where we come all the way up, halfway down, and halfway up. But because we're starting at the bottom of the lift, that's going to look a little different. So just pay attention. I'm starting at the bottom, I'm halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Good. Halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. So you just want to clear on that halfway up. Just clear. The best way to say it is the meat of your butt cheek. The meat of your butt. Clear that off the ground. Then go back down. You know, you have part of your butt's going to deform to the ground. It's just how it is. So you want to clear that. Finish out 10. All the way down, then up. You can do this with 2 legs. It's okay if you don't get to 10. This one's pretty hard. Up. 2 more. Get as much extension as you can. Good. Okay, so do the same thing here with the other leg. The thing that makes this hard is that you have to now actually control the lift when you want to be pushing through it. So you have to stop yourself. Oh. Good. Oh. Good. Up. Great. Up. Excellent. 10 here. Up. Up. Okay. Good. So, now let's do one more thing. And we want to make sure that we're going very carefully with this. Then we're done. So we're going to finish out our obliques. So we want to make sure we do this, that we're going side to side properly. So I'm going to try to make sure that you see everything. So I'm not going to demonstrate the wrong way to do this. I actually did it once, and I hurt my back. Demonstrating the wrong way to do it, because if you do it the wrong way, it can hurt your back. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm just going to tell you. We want to make sure when we do this, leg side to side, our shoulder blades stay on the ground. And don't force the movement beyond that, because then you start to rotate through part of your spine that you don't have the mobility for. So, down the side, this requires thoracic rotation. So let's just do 8 per side. Only as far as you can, without those shoulder blades coming up. If you need to bend the legs, do so. That can be a hamstrings flexibility thing or a strength thing. Okay, I got 2 more. I'm fatigued. Okay, I can't see anyone on here because my tablet's just not made to handle this. So it just keeps freezing. But I'm gonna trust you're there. Let's stretch, and remember that you can use any of these principles throughout all your workouts. So that was just that's a 1 1/2 rep technique. So release the fingers together, pull the shoulders back. But as always, no matter what technique we're using, progressive overload is the key. So increasing the reps or increasing the resistance, preferably increasing push the hips back, curl the hands out on the knees, push the knees back straight, preferably increasing both systematically. But again, as I'll keep repeating, we are in a situation where some of us may have an upper limit to our resistance, at which point you just have to do things like take the stretch reflex out with your long pauses and increase the reps. Pull the shoulders back. And then manipulating mechanical advantage, which we are doing a lot of. Do that when we drop the arm out. So just making yourself have less mechanical advantage can give you a good, spread the shoulders out across the upper back, a good amount of resistance, or a good progressive overload with a fixed resistance. That's what I want to say. Yeah, manipulating the mechanical